Alright, now what's going on? Hey, so you know, on the last one we was talking about this new fence that we're building, cattle panel, hog panel fence. Anyway, we're yesterday we worked on a little bit all day yesterday, and I've been picking around on it throughout the week. Last week. Currently I'm on a 10-day pass, so I don't go back to work till next Monday. Anyway, so I got that amount of time to finish this up. So here's what we got thus far. So these two were the ones that I experimented with. Came back and put a gate in. I probably should have gated it before putting the post in. It's a 4-foot gate and it is very tight. I think what I will end up doing is on the hinge side I'll cut those in a little bit, about an inch or so, notch it out, you know, ½ inch or so I can drop those in a little bit further to get me a little bit more gap here, because it is on the fence. We very seldom use the back though. Anyway, so this was done and that one was done previous, just to get my measurements. Put a gate in it. Yesterday, me and my buddy Ray, thank you Ray, we did the longest side of the project, and I think it was 9 or 10 panels down the course of this. So we got it tightened up and everything is in. Like I said, we got this side knocked out, put up. Get around to the front and I'll show you what we did on the front, which is what we should have done in the back, but hey. So, and then we set all the posts yesterday as well. So today it's kind of rainy, so I don't know if we'll get much work done today. I have a VA appointment later to go see about hearing aids or some nerve damage or something. Anyway, we got all of our posts set on the front. And, so on the front gate, because it is used most often, I set the gate where I put a post in, the hinge post, set the gate, and then we put in the other side. So like that. The gate stop, whatever, is a two-way, so it can go either way. Speedco two-way gate latch. It's pretty neat. So of course, to open it, you would just pull whichever, if you want it to go in or out, and when you close it, you just close the gate and it rides that, pushes that up, and then stuck in between. So let's see if we can get a shot of that. Lift it up, pull your gate, good to go. So anyway, that's the gate and the latch that we decided to go with. And of course the gate itself is 4 foot, about 50 inches I believe, but it's got the 2x4 square, which keep the dogs from getting out. Same with the cattle panel. So yeah, anyway, so that's where we're at, and as you can tell, we have come to the outside of the fence. So once the new fence is completely up, I can disassemble the old fence and still use posts or whatever if I want to move it somewhere else. But yeah, so that's it. So a fence inside of a fence currently, but once the new one is up, we will take the old one down, switch it around, and all will be well, and no more dogs on the outside of the fence unless we let them out. As far as measurements, I want to say, before we get into that, I don't know, I'd have to figure out the square footage that we have in this fence. With the exception of the gates and the latches, I'm going to say we have about $1,200 in lumber and materials. The gates and the latches were about $300, so we can round that up to $1,500 to build this fence. To figure out the square footage, every post is about 8 foot apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's like 25 posts or 25 panels times 8 is yeah, it's about 200 square foot of fence for $1,500. That would be about $7.50 a square foot. Which, I'm no professional fence builder, but that sounds pretty good. For instance, the cattle panel is 50 inches tall by 16 foot long. So that's roughly 2 panels for $27. Each panel was $27. So, and now each panel has got, all this is 8 foot lumber, keep in mind. So each panel is 3 2x4s and of course a 4x4. Measurement wise, if anybody's interested, cattle panel is 50 inches tall, 16 foot long. I was cutting them to 48 inches tall because ultimately you got to get rid of the ends. So this right here won't go into the dado, so it's got to be loose ends. And this cattle panel is, if you look, I think it's 4x4 squares until you get to the bottom, and the bottom is a little smaller. So the bottom, I was just cutting the top band off and then measuring from the bottom up to 48 inches and then cutting it. Now, so with that in mind, on your 2x4s, I didn't set my post exactly. I moved around roots and whatnot. They're all about 8 foot apart. I didn't go over 8 foot because I'm using 8 foot lumber. Most of them were 92 or 93 inches apart, or that's my measurement to cut. Now, so the hog panel at 48 inches tall. Keep in mind they were 50 inches, but you have to cut the bottom and the top straps and the side straps. So I cut the bottom off flush, measured up 48 inches, marked the line, cut it. And then on my 16 foot panel, I cut the front and the back. So when I got my measurement, I measured from the cut end to the middle and cut. Now, on the fence, everything's 8 foot lumber. So my 4x4 is what I got. So whatever's not above ground is underground, 8 foot. My side 2x4, you can pre-cut those 46 1/4 inch. You can go ahead and cut all those, and that's what I did once I got my mathematics on my other one. So with your 48 inch wire, your 46 1/4 side panels, because your top and your bottom go on top. So 2x4 is 1.5 inches thick, right, with a 1 inch dado running through there. So I've only got about a 1/2 inch of wood that's not dadoed, and it's pretty tight in there. Now, down on your bottom, what you do is once you set your posts, you have to measure from 4x4 to 4x4. Once you get that measurement at the bottom, as close to the bottom and level as possible, let's say that it comes up to 92 inches. Cut your mud board, that 2x6, at that measurement. Put it in there. What I did was I leveled it. I could have run a string and leveled the whole thing, but I went with the contour of the ground. So that's why, if you look, the tops are not level. On this particular side. Now I may do the front differently, but you know, so to make it look even all the way across, you can run you a line and level it and mark your 4x4s and level your mud boards off the bottom, which would level your boards across the top as well. What I did was I just put my mud boards down as close to the ground as possible, leveled them, nailed them into the 4x4s. So that measurement will also give you your measurement for your top and your bottom 2x4s. 92, 92, 92, 46 1/4, 46 1/4. That will also give you your measurement for your wire. So 92 for your length of wire. So you know that's 92 at the bottom, right? So you start at 92 for your wire, but minus 1 1/2 inch, 1.5 inch. Cut it. Assemble your panel. What we were doing was we would go ahead and assemble the bottom and the sides and drop our wire in, put the top on there, flush it up, square it, screw it. Then you can carry your panel to your location and screw it in. My mud board is nailed in, but my panels are screwed in. In the event if a tree ever falls on this, I can just unscrew it and replace what needs to be replaced. So across the bottom, if you look, you'll see screws, and you'll see them all in the front. Now keep in mind that 2x6 is not covering the hole, it's only on the front half of that board. So there's a gap under there. See? So when you screw it in, you can only screw into the front half of that. The reason for that is if you get a gap, like there's a gap here. So with my cut wire, I can run under there, and that'll keep dogs from digging out. So anyway, back to the measurements. This particular, so this thing is going to be at least 48 inches because that's what the wire's cut at. Plus your 2 2x4s plus your 6-inch mud board. Which I think the overall from the bottom of your mud board to the top of this is 55.5, 55 3/4. So that's 48 inches is 4 foot. So you're a good bit over 4 foot fence. Out here in the farm, that works out great for me. The fence behind there, my farm dog can just jump right over. She may have to work at this one to get over it. Not saying she couldn't. But that one's not too bad. I'm not too worried about her getting out and causing chaos. The 2 boxers we have, they would definitely wreak havoc on the animals. The other, the American Staffordshire, she likes to nibble on chickens, so, but she won't do it like when she's out with us. So the thing is, we'll keep them in unless we want them out, then we keep eye on them. So that's the whole reason for the upgrade in fence. That, and I think it looks very good. So to reiterate, I used everything is 8 foot lumber, 2x4 by 8, 4x4 by 8, and 2x6 by 8. Everything 8 foot. I dug in or buried the 4x4s at about 18 to 2 foot. Of course, depending on roots and rocks. But it's all pretty much down to the knuckle of the post hole digger, about 18 to 24 inches, somewhere in between. I would use one of my mud boards to line up. I would put it, so as I put this 4x4 in, I would put my mud board about in the middle of it, down at the bottom, run it out to where it ended, mark the ground, and that's where I would dig my hole. If I ran into big roots, I had room to adjust and move, not to go over 8 foot. On average, not quite 8 foot apart, but pretty close. Anywhere from 92 to, I believe, 94 inches is what I averaged for my cut. Now if you're good and you mathematically can set 8 foot on center, you could technically build all your frame, all your panels, and then just install them. I'm not that good, or either I'm just that lazy. So anyway, what I would do is I set all my posts, and then I come back and I measure, and I cut my boards, my mud boards, get them all locked in, write my measurement, come back when I start building my panels, I look at the mud board, it says 92 inches, I go back and I build me a panel at 92 inches and install the panels. Eventually you get done. Yes, there is better ways of doing it, but that's the way that I did it. So, durable, yes. You can grab this thing in the middle and pull, and not saying you couldn't get it out, but you do some work to get it out. Anyway, so there you have it. I like it. It's coming along. Got a little bit more to go. In short, that's what we're going with. Again, I'll go over the measurements for this particular. I cut my wire, my hog panel, my cattle panel, whatever you want to call it. I cut it at 48 inches. I stripped the bottom wire off, measured up 48 inches, marked lines, cut the top. That gave me my 48 inches tall. I cut both sides off. I stripped them at that wire. So that gave me my starting point. Prefab, all my sides, my 2x4s are cut at 46 1/4 inch. 46.25. 46 1/4. That will give you your perfect height to run your 48 inch wire. Your 46 1/4 plus your 1 inch at the top and your 1 inch at the bottom will give you 48 1/4. That gives you 1/4 inch of wiggle room in your dado. It's perfect. I set my post. I measured flush from 4x4 to 4x4. Got that measurement. I cut my mud board and my my upper and my lower 2x4. That 92 inch or whatever your measurement is between your 4x4s, we'll say 92 inches. Come back to your wire. 92 minus 1.5 inches. 90, what is that? 90 1/2 inch. Cut it. Assemble your piece of fence. Take it to your work site. Screw it in. Good to go. Just remember, 48 inches for your wire, 46 1/4 inches on your side 2x4s. Your top and your bottom 4x4 screws in like so. There's your side, there's your top, same on the bottom. So your side go in between, and that's where you get your 48 1/4 inch inside the dado, that is. Anyway, so that's what we got, guys. Short and sweet, maybe it's too much information, maybe not enough. It's turning out good. Like I say, if you want a level fence, you need to level the bottom, run you a string with a level, mark your posts, and put your 2x6s on level. I ran mine level with the ground. Therefore my fence is stepping up and down. It's not level on the top. On the front, I probably will not, because just looking uphill, I'm going to say it's about a 4-foot difference from the top to the bottom down here. So that probably won't work out so good. I could have leveled the side here pretty easy, because I'm only at the most six inches out of level down this side. The front would definitely be way out. I don't even know if y'all can see the grade. It's probably a few feet. So by the time I got down here, the bottom of the fence would be about here. Maybe not quite that much. It would definitely be a difference. But I may run a string just to see. If it ain't that bad, maybe I'll run down here on the bottom. I can run 2 mud boards. You know, that's all up to what you want to do. Anyway, guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I hope I didn't bore you too much with the digits and the numbers. It's just what it is. You get to building one of these, you can experiment and make your own numbers. What I found worked out good was what I did. Same with the gate latches. I kind of like that. I may actually change all my pasture gates to that system instead of the old wrapping the chain around and locking it in. But anyway, that's in the future. If you're interested, that double lock I think was $21 at the Tractor Supply. I bought another one, a single one way, that I was going to put on the back. It was $19, which, unless I can figure out something or move something back there, I may just have to leave that one hooked to the chain like it is. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Looks like I'll do a grand total, but I'm gonna say that we're probably under $1,500 total currently, and I believe that I have enough material to finish everything. So, but I'll report back in when it's all done and give you the grand totals, and I'll write the measurements on a piece of paper, and you can pause and contemplate and think about life and see what you want to do if you built one of these. Anyway, hey, also, if you got any better ideas, drop them in the comment, let me know. I'm always for better and easier. But anyway, we're out. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe, stay strong, and always stay free. We are out.